Okay. Tom Campbell of the Monroe Institute is going to be doing a series of experiments sometime this summer. I don't know the dates exactly, but it's going to involve proving that we do live in a holographic reality. And everyone familiar with the channel should know that a holographic reality is kind of the cornerstone of what we talk about in terms of the gateway process and other documents that are surrounding this, which obviously better helps explain everything in terms of the Mandela effect and all kinds of other things. So I'll do my best to check out the live chat while I can, but I'm kind of flying solo today. So if I don't respond or if it's kind of raucous in there, I'll do the best I can. But I had to get on because the last couple days things have just been ramping up in terms of the strangeness, and I included some of those articles, and some of them I just I can't I just I they just I can't let this aggression stand. It will not stand. So we have that's a joke, by the way. So we have my favorite, obviously, to top all of this off, and let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay, by the way. Thanks, I appreciate it. Obviously, my favorite in terms of if you ever wanted to know whether or not reality is made of kind of a code based, a maybe a binary type code base, right? And like Bruce Lipton talks about, we have cells, and each of those cells have little antenna on them, and they kind of pick everything up, and they create for themselves this kind of holographic or vibrational or this kind of frequency based reality that's around us. I often the most easiest way that I kind of explain it is in terms of cymatics, or kind of tuning into a radio station, this reality. And certainly, if you were to take all of those kinds of metaphors and all of those other kinds of things, and you were to really apply them to your day-to-day life, birds that were once extinct and can kind of imagine themselves back into existence, you suddenly realize what you're doing is you're just changing the code base of reality is all that you're doing. And then suddenly you realize these are not all that big a deals. It's just that you have to be engaged with this kind of paradigm for a long enough period of time that these kinds of things suddenly don't shock you, and you can sort of read between the lines of what they're actually telling you to the real base truth of what's actually there. And the real base truth of what's actually there is that this holographic universe, and also too, while we're moving away from an atomic model, particularly in the quantum physics world, one to something closer to a code-based model in terms of the basis from which we have our reality, is that things like this are going to be more prevalent because we have technologies out there that are actually distorting reality. So anyway, it's from and it's a like I said, the strangeness is so high. We have such high strangeness right now. I no longer have to go to the fringes. I think I'm going to strictly stick to mostly mainstream media articles, because if you just read the articles, you just simply have to pay attention. So from the US News and World Report used to be this really, well, I suppose it still is in terms of its standing, but it's another very esteemed. It was once a magazine. Those really don't exist very much anymore, but now it's a website, which I'm assuming is still has some sort of legacy to it, in terms of its staffing or something. But it says extinct bird re-evolved itself back into existence. No kidding. It's in the link. I've tweeted it out. Extinct bird re-evolved itself back into existence. Now, you can believe that if you want, but I think actually what they're saying is more ridiculous than what we're saying in the Mandela effect community. We're saying there was a Mandela shift, a quantum shift at the quantum level, and the code base that makes up reality was switched. So whether there was an upgrade to the reality from our creator or creators, I believe there happens to be one. But this hologram, and you have to remember, a hologram isn't real in terms of what it's reflecting. right? In terms of what we're seeing in the narrow band of frequencies, in our 5 major senses, right? It's not really real per se. What is real, however, is the machinery and the code base from which it shoots out from, like a movie camera, right onto the screen, right? So by you messing around with sort of the film rolls of time, what you can do is you can take an extinct bird and then reinsert it into the code base that we're all experiencing right now in the never-ending present, right? Now that seems actually more plausible than a pack of birds that were once extinct re-evolving themselves back into existence, right? I mean, you can go ahead and go with the mainstream media if you like, but like everything else that's pretty mainstream nowadays, it's absolutely insane and upside down. And what I'm offering and what this channel offers is sanity, actually, because the world is becoming more and more and more insane. It's dissolving consensus. It's dissolving consensus realized. It's dissolving consensus realized in a real format and a live, ongoing, real-time format. It's lunacy. To think that a bird will just re-evolve itself back into existence. So let's get a little bit into this article. Once the bird became extinct, it took only 20,000 years for it to return and evolve into a flightless bird again. Ooh. A once extinct bird species, quote, re-evolved itself into existence and returned to the island it once colonized thousands of years ago. So not only did it re-evolve itself, it remembered thousands of years ago, even though we human beings, we can't keep a record that well. These birds, don't you worry, these birds did. So obviously they have better bookkeepers, better historians than we do, obviously. That or there is an underlying intelligence, an underlying creator, an underlying intelligent design to this, right? Now, by no means am I conforming to particularly the modern American kind of slice of Christianity that's run rampant out there. So, you needn't worry when I say things like that. Or if you are, a slice of modern mainstream, you're that kind of Christian, or you're an evangelical, or whatever it may be, you also need not worry. I'm not here to insult you or belittle you like most other channels try to do, and certainly like reductive materialists who, at this point, you're just uninformed. You're ignorant. You're just ignorant. You're ignorant to the science, and you're ignorant to what's going on around you in the world, and you're just not paying attention. If you're a reductive materialist, certainly if you're an atheist, you're just not paying attention. That or you lack the imagination for what the data is implying. The data is implying a creator. There is a code base. So that means there is a code writer. So let's get back into this. The Aldabra Rail, named after the Aldabra atoll it inhabits in the Seychelles, is the last surviving native flightless bird in the Indian Ocean region. It is a descendant of the flying white-throated rail that is believed to have lost its ability to fly because of the lack of predators made it unnecessary. Fossils of the Aldabra rail have been discovered dating back 136,000 years, but the island has since been submerged by the ocean, wiping out almost all life. When the Aldabra went under the sea, everything was gone. Julian Hume, a paleontologist and author of the study, said in a press release from the Natural History Museum of London, there was almost a complete turnover in the fauna. Everything went extinct, yet the Aldabra rail still lives on today. Something must have happened for it to have returned. Well, the island went under. The bird lost its ability to fly. Not only is the bird back from an extinguished island, which in itself is a marvel, but the thing has suddenly sprouted wings and started to fly. Now, according to early versions of evolution, which I don't even bother keeping up with now, whatever they talk about, the way in which we express our evolution or whether or not it's something like this. I've heard this actually explained before that evolution happens in abrupt like shifts like this. And I think what they were trying to do is explained exactly this, the Mandela effect shifts. This is from a Mandela effect shift. The research published in the Zoological Journal of the Linnean Society revealed that the white-throated rail recolonized the islands, but researchers believe that after the sea levels dropped and the bird reappeared, it became flightless once again. New fossils showed the Aldabra rail was heavier than its ancestors. Anyway, but the point is and you can read the whole article if you want to get into it. I don't want to get into it. The point is it's back. It's back. The island was there, then it was gone. While it was there, the bird lost its wings just, I guess magically. Um I don't know. I don't know. Now it's back. And it has its wings, and everybody's okay with that. That's okay. That's fine. It's a bird that didn't have wings, and it went extinct, and the island went under. Now the bird's back, and it has wings, and everyone's okay with it. And it goes back to that whole UFO thing. I just you would think there'd be open forums and speculation out there about whether or not indeed we are being controlled by shape-shifting lizard people. Now obviously I'm being absurd, right, when I say that. But when you open the conversation of UFOs, naturally, if you're if you have any kind of curiosity, you would want to know what is it being flown by? And the obvious next step is to say, "Hmm, I wonder. Could it be? I mean, I don't know. What is it? It's obviously intelligent. It makes hard right turns. There's nothing in nature that isn't intelligent that can make a hard right turn like that, certainly with those velocities. So, it doesn't end there though, folks. We move on. Michigan man discovers glowing fluorescent rock called the Yooperlites. And this is from geologyin.com. And it says here, this guy Eric, thank you, Eric, for finding the rock. What he calls a mind blowing discovery. The gem and mineral dealer told CBS he often goes rock hunting. Okay, cool. He's a mineral dealer. But on this particular June night, he found a rock unlike any other, a fluorescent orb that he later described a Yooperlite. So he named it. Good for him. Like lava glowing through cracks in the earth, a glowing light seeped out of the lines of the small rock. In the small rock. So this guy, he knew it couldn't be the only one out there. He couldn't find any other formations about glowing rock or any information about glowing rocks. Let's see. They took it to Michigan State University. Um, this guy went back to the beach night after night carrying a black light, which helped illuminate the glowing rocks. I was blown away. He said it's insane how many are on the beaches up here. So I guess he found more. He started collecting these glowing rocks, and they look kind of like gold to me. Kind of like a shiny if gold had like a flashlight on it. Michigan State University messaged this guy with an intent of buying some of the rocks to study. So this is the real deal. So Michigan State, along with the University of Saskatchewan, researched the Yooperlite for months. The universities determined that uh, this guy indeed discovered a new type of rock. Wow. So that rock, again, it's like the bird. How many people have been in Michigan and around that area for how long? And the rock just showed up? No, no. There's an infinite number of versions of reality, and we shift. We're constantly in a state of motion and shifting. And because of CERN and other technologies, they've disrupted the natural flow of those shifts. So rather than shifting to another version of reality that is natural and normal, we're shifting in leaps and jumps to other versions of reality that aren't natural and normal. in terms of how we were created in this ever expanding bizarre code base. So that he's the Christopher, they are calling him the Christopher Columbus of rocks. Okay, that's weird. Hmm. So they gave him the name Yooperlites because the people that have the nickname Yoopers, which refers to the people who live in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. See, so it has people in that part of Michigan, that Upper Peninsula. Oh, it's that upper part. I bet that's a beautiful part of the country. I'd love to go check that out. I don't hang around a lot of freshwater areas. I live on the ocean front, but I would love to go see something like that. An area, a broad peninsula like that, surrounded by freshwater like that, and I bet it's gorgeous. I was blown away the first time I went to Chicago. It's very beautiful, right on the water like that. Stunning. And you forget that it's a lake because it's so gigantic. It's really beautiful. Stunning at night too, especially if you're in a hotel that has a really nice view. So, anyway, so that's what we're, like we talked about. Unfortunately, my predictions back in 2017 were having a accelerated condition of dissolving consensus is what's happening, and unfortunately, it's starting to bear out into reality, and it's going to bear out into reality in such a pronounced way that eventually the most asleep amongst us will no longer be able to let me see here. Hold on. I'm looking in the live chat here. I'm trying to show they want to hide everything and stuff. So I'm trying to show rather than hide stuff. So anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but the point is that there's a lot out there that's being discovered. Let's go back to my favorite, the moon. Astronomers spot moon flashing at us. No one can explain why. Ooh, can I raise my hand and I'll tell you why? Because it's an alien object. It's an orb. It's not it's a satellite created by alien life forms. So here's Fox News. A new study suggests that a large body crashed into the moon and gave it its distinctive features. Yeah, that large body is called a spaceship. Humans have been noticing flashes of light coming from the moon for thousands of years. I didn't know that. But still, we don't understand why this happens or what causes it. What I don't understand is why is it kicking up so hard lately, folks? Do you guys know why? Why is that? It's kind of odd that it's happening right as we're starting this confirmation process. Going back to the article, the strange occurrences is known as a transient lunar phenomena, a TLP. Which sounds really close to a UAP, which is even closer to our best friend, the UFO. Back to the article. And an astronomer from Germany thinks he's on the cusp of solving this moon mystery. Back to synchronicities. I sent out a video about cusps. Haken Kaal from the University of Würzburg in Bavaria is working on a project that might reveal what causes the quick shifts of light, which I'm sure that the University of Würzburg and Mr. Kale are doing their best, but I can tell you it's an alien satellite. So, you know, anyway, he's using a brand new type of telescope system that is based in Spain and is already making progress despite only being used since April. Oh, great! Since April, it's June, 2 months ago. Much progress can you make in a couple months here? So anyway, all these things seem to be coming together, and they're doing it in the pace always quickens, and it always seems to quicken, right? So I thought that the best thing I thought I could do is start to talk about these things and highlight them, and just not only in Twitter but also here as well. And I talked about that, and I'm doing it. And it's and what I want to do with these kinds of things and say to everyone, and I said this on Sunday. And I may not be as poetic because I'm not on fire like I was on Sunday in terms of what I was saying and the way I was saying it. But even though we have all these articles and you can check them down in the description, I'm just not making this stuff up. And they're from an array of mainstream media outlets, so it's not biased in the normal political way that you would think. I just want everyone to know that as this process unfolds and as we become witness to this process, I want to I want to express all of these things, and I want to move away from a fear-based life and a fear-based economy and a fear-based system, and move more towards love, because at the base of everything and all this that we're seeing, there's either fear or love. And part of the reason why, we're experiencing these kinds of things is because of the fear-based system that we've all been immersed in. And whether it's been the university system, whether it's been the government systems that we've put in place, whether it's been the social systems that we've put in place, including mainstream religions, these were all fear-based systems. And I think it would be best for all of us to get away from those kinds of systems. The way I put it, on Sunday was, they talk about one of the greatest fears, right? A fear of the whole UFO thing is that it would collapse, right? It would collapse things like, religion and government and all those things. But if all those things need collapsing in terms of a fear-based system, then let it go. Then let it all go, because at the base of everything, there's either fear or love, and that's all there is. You either do something out of fear or you do it out of love. You don't do it for any other reasons. Now from that, it's sort of like an upside down pyramid of complex reasons that you can build from there. And the whole problem is it comes down from the conditioning that our parents had and our parents' parents had and everyone else had, that love is conditional. Even when they say it's not conditional, it is conditional. And that goes right back to our teachings about God and our relationship with our creator, that it is conditional. And that's why people, they find they need to meditate. They find they need to pray, because they don't understand that everything you have is within you already, because there's a little bit of that in all of us. It's all the same. It's all made of the same stuff. So, it's either fear or love. And I know I'm changing, because I would have laughed at a notion like that, laughed at love, and would have heralded fear, and would have heralded and doubled down on those kinds of systems, and I simply don't won't do that anymore, because I don't want that fear, and I don't want those kinds of systems around me. And everything that you see now, if you see through everything in the fog and you part it and you part it all around you. And I'm still in this process, and it took years and years of deprogramming myself through the power of now. And now I'm here, and I'm deprogramming myself to where I can see either fear or love in every motivation. And I'm seeing a lot of fear and very little love. So the best thing that we can do right now, I think, is, shine the light on these things and make no dire predictions. There's no there's no dire predictions to be made. Everything's already been decided anyway. We've already known this, right? Going back to the gateway process, there's no past, present, or future. Linear time is an illusion. And all you have to do is put yourself in a spiritual state of superposition, and you'll be able to see that, and be able to accept to whatever comes after you or comes for you, or whatever, however it is you want to phrase your darkest fear, right? 7%. That's all we have to do in the world population. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it's smaller than that, to change everything from fear based to love. That's all we have to do, and we can do it together. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Okay, it's going to happen, and there's nothing we can do about it, because we have been traditionally, quote unquote, the powerless. And in a fear based system, we are powerless. I am powerless. I have no power. And when I look around, and I don't despair anymore that I have no power in my life, the effect that the only change that I need to affect is with me. And hopefully that will radiate to other people, and they'll start to understand it. So when I read about birds deciding to become, you know, to come on back into this frequency in this existence, and to think how ridiculous The idea of reductive materialism and the idea that I was an atheist once. How stupid and ridiculous that is. And again, it's a fear-based idea. All of it is. It's garbage. Hey, I see almost 100 people watching. Can I get more thumbs up, folks? If you forgot, it would really help out. Uh, my videos are obviously, I've been put in that bucket with everyone else, and I don't get on the suggested lists anymore. I don't get the channel is basically dying. The channel's not being shown, it's not being shared, and it's not because of the list of you guys, it's because I'm not being promoted, by YouTube anymore. Obviously, I've committed some crime or some sin, even though I'm promoting love. I'm not promoting hate. I'm saying don't be fearful, right? I'm just pointing out mainstream articles, and yet I am on some kind of system where I won't be promoted. I'm in some kind of bucket that puts me in the bucket with other channels. So I don't, the only way for this channel to, and I'm not exactly even concerned with growing anymore. I just, for those that are there, if you wish, it would be very helpful. Oh, and needless to say, eventually, if we get enough donations, we're going to build a web page. And I'd like to have our own place where we can all hang out and do our thing. So there's always super chats. If not, no big deal. I would, I wouldn't say I prefer the thumbs up, but if you want to give the super chats, that's here as well. But and Brenda, just so you know, you always type me as SMO. I'm SMQ. I don't know if that's like a thing by accident, just so you know. Um, so that's it really for today. And thank you everyone for showing up. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make quicker ones here. This was more of a kind of let you know what's going on kind of thing. Yeah, people have brought up about a Discord. Jeremy, one of my friends, Jeremy Crow, he brings up about a Discord all the time. Um, hmm, just reading what you guys are saying. Yeah, I thought about doing a Discord chat room. That could be. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. I'll definitely SMQ. There you go, Brenda. Thank you. It's cool. That is true. Good point, Eileen. Very good point. The channel isn't dying unless you base it on YouTube algorithms and ad views. Well said. Once again, Eileen, I stand corrected. You are correct. Absolutely. Discord, huh? So you guys are really into it. Okay, okay. All right, I'll talk to Jeremy about it too, and Buster. I know Jeremy brought it up to me a couple times. I know Buster's brought it up as well. So, interesting. Okay, guys. All right, cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Well, anyway, please share this, pass it on, get the word out. We know what's going on. We're not afraid. Everything's gonna be fine. And I found a new channel just before I one more thing. I always say I'm gonna go and then I don't actually go. So I found this channel today. It's kind of cool. He's very in tuned, and I tweeted out his particular that's why you have to follow me on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, you're missing most of, like, the magic. Um, he is his name is, the name of the video is 3 Signs You Have Shifted to a Parallel Reality and Don't Know It, and, let me open up his channel. His channel is called, shoot, I'm trying to find his channel. Let me open it up here in YouTube, even though if it makes noise, I'm sorry. Um, his channel name is any second now. Hold on, give me a second here. Aaron Doherty, AARONDOUGHTY. Just found him today, and he's really great. And that video that I tweeted out, it really does describe the Mandela effect really well. And it was back in 2018, so the guy knows what he's talking about. All right, I'm gonna check the chat one more time, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bump out of here. Let's see. Ah. see, Discord, yes. So a lot of Discord fans in here. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, Isaac, I mean, I've been friends with Isaac for a while. Isaac Weishaupt, yeah, we've interviewed each other. I've been on his channel, his original channel before it was bombed. I have an interview of him. True Stream Media, yeah, they do really great work. Yeah, absolutely, they do. Really, really great work. Yeah, Quantum of Conscious, yeah, Matt, yep, great stuff there too. So, okay, just reading you guys. Thank you, Raleigh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think, Chick and I make a great team. I think she's a great person. Alright, guys, I'm gonna jump off now. I'll talk to you guys later.